Have you ever wondered what it takes to get to the top of kaupapa? Well, Faith Curtis-Flavell tēnei. I'm hosting alongside Puahaere Vaka Kiriwaitingi Rei. Te AUNAWA is abbreviation of Ko au te manawa. We're looking into the engine drivers of kaupapa, the masterminds, the creators, the composers, poi creators, the haka creators, the choreography, the tunes. Who does them? If you want to know, come join us at te AUNAWA. Urutomokia te whare wānanga o te AUNAWA.
Mauri Bidwa, te arawa, te whanau apanui, tauranga moana.
Kia ora, ko Hoana Titia Tuhakaraina tōku ingoa, he uri tēnei no te arawa, te whakatōhea, me tainui hoi.
Hohua, he nui waku, he renga, ki ngā waka katoa, ki ngā iwi katoa, ngari hohua no te awahau. Kia ora.
This podcast, we're looking at behind the scenes and the creators, the people who create the composition, choreography, talking about managing kaupapa and how do we deal with that as creators. Talking about compositions. Over to you, my kazi. How do you compose?
Oh, be straight off the business.
Akoi.
We're lucky.
Yeah.
We're lucky in our
Yes.
We're lucky in āTI RANGI bubehi. Waimati nui na mātai. Tā te mea. We've got a long history of recorded brackets, of recorded compositions, whether it be in writing, whether it be on film, whether it be in the archives. We've got a whole library to draw from. And I'm a true believer, you know, our job should be to tell our tales. If we don't tell it, no one's going to tell it. Should be said in our language, because if we don't use it, no one's going to use it. Kana nāwe hau ngā kōrero tō tātou, tupuna kuia, katoa e mea ke ana, kai hopu tō ringa ki te akataepa engari kia mau ki te akamatua. Stay the course.
Yeah.
If you stay the course, that's why it's called classic, it always comes back around. But if you stay the course, you know, and the beautiful thing about composing is if you, one thing that we figured out fast, that with our iwi, is that if you make every kaupapa about them, if you make every kaupapa in their language, kaupapa that they can relate to, then they're going to do it to the best of their abilities because it's home.
Yeah, I agree.
You know, no good singing about other people's kaupapas because we're only going to do a half-assed job.
Yeah.
So ko te mea nui, ara, ko te here i ngā kaupapa ki a rātou. We've got heaps of kiwaha, heaps of kianga, heaps of way to say things that have been passed down to us in all of those compositions. So wai maria nui ana tatai. We don't have to dip into anybody else's pool because our trough is full.
We love our cold water.
Yeah, yeah. Well, you know, and even there, te here katoa i ngā neke, i ngā kupu, i ngā kōrero, ki te taia wake o te kāinga. Because if anyone knows it, you know, it's us that live in it.
Yep.
You know, and if you can relate, then it's easier to portray something. You don't have to tell anyone, oh, well, you know, be excited about this. You don't have to tell anyone, oh, be sad about this. Because they were there and they felt it.
Yeah.
They've grown up around it. All of those mea katoa. Katoa wera, he mea āwhina, ia koe tito haere ana i ngā waiata. It's not easy being greasy. No, but it's not.
It's easy being cheesy.
Yeah. Yeah, but so it's not an easy thing, but we're really, really lucky too. Tātou, and I'm talking about tātou katoa no nina, we've had good tutors, good mentors.
Yes.
We've had good examples, you know. You know, we've
been lucky.
Yeah.
We've been lucky
So
growing up.
We've had some that have been lacking in this department, but then there's always been someone else to fill their gap, nera.
Yeah.
And so we're really lucky at home.
Our strengths are all in different areas.
Yeah. And the strength that everyone, you know, one monkey doesn't run the show.
Yeah.
And so the beautiful thing is that everyone recognises their strengths and draws on their strengths to make something happen.
Yeah.
Ne, you know, kātahi nei te piki mahunga that thinks they can do it all. But, you know, what makes things really happen.
A little bit the hard way.
Yeah. You know, when I took press-up classes, it wasn't free. But, you know, but it's about clever delegation, believing in each other, you know, and all of that aids towards composition.
Yeah.
All of that lends a helping hand towards movement.
Do you have a set room that you have to be in when you're composing, or you compose anywhere? Are you quite precious about kupu?
Sometimes I feel like the environment sometimes the compositions lives in that environment. So like, I think you always need a vision, and so that's to know what I want it to look like, what I want it to sound like, what I want it to feel like. That's usually where we start. Is, sometimes it's not even the kaupapa. Sometimes we like, Hapa might say, hey, you two, I'm sick of bloody sad songs. We're going to have a happy one this year. And so we already know.
So we've got to dig deep.
Hey, but in having that direction there, hey, the song's already begun to be composed. And so I can't write happy stuff, I was going to swear, hey, in a place that doesn't make me happy. So sometimes the environment does. The other ones are too, like, what makes you comfortable. Sometimes to be in that creative space, some people can't do it if they're hungry. Others can't do it if they're full. You know, so what's your different thing? And sometimes you don't know what you want, but you know what you don't want. So if you don't know exactly where to go, sometimes you just start off with, well, I don't want it like this, hey, and I don't want it like that. And like Hohua was saying before, we're lucky we've got a catalogue to dip into. But we also know that catalogue also needs to be contributed to. So we can't just take, and then all we're doing is reusing. So what we're doing is we're taking inspiration from here. We're seeing what worked, what didn't work. We're seeing what strikes a chord with us. And then we're also looking at our own environment, our own world, and what can we add to this, so that what we're leaving behind for the next ones to come, they see a blueprint. They see that these haka and waiata that we're drawing from, if you go back into those, you see that those are drawn from old stuff, eh? So, and
sometimes some of those were drawn from not even from home.
And that's the thing is, you can't take out inspiration. So with today's reanga, they've got it all over TikTok, all over Instagram, all over. So there's those places that traditionally went in, you know, and sometimes the inspiration comes from within, from looking into yourself, and then you beat yourself up because you can't find something. And sometimes it's good to just go out.
Is that what you would call a roadblock or mind block? Or
luckily, I've sort of come to the same process of myself that I know it's better to have something on that canvas than nothing. Because the longer empty canvas stands there staring at you, is the scarier it gets. And so if you've got nothing down, so at least I'm not trying to write the masterpiece. All I'm trying to do is look for it.
Build the body.
So we're going down there and we just have something down, and then you can, and that's how we sort of all work through our any bracket that we're doing. We'll throw it at it first and then develop it instead of wasting too much time trying to present it already finished. Because if you try that, you're going to lose your whole summer.
Some of my favourite compositions from you, both of you, have been at our Pōmihi, our Purupuruaki, when you were just grabbing the guitar and jamming, and then the lyrics that just roll out of your mouth. I love them. Probably my favourites.
I'm glad you love them, because it's a source of much embarrassment for you. But
it reminds me of koro.
Oh, I'll take that. But you know, you must also have enough humility to know that sometimes your idea isn't the ultimate idea.
That's the hard.
You know, you've got to know that it has to be able to, it has to be fluid. You know, and it has to, there has to be a little bit of give and it has to be a little bit of take. And other one too is you try not to throw too much problems at the table, because it's easy to find problems. If you throw a problem, you better have about two otherwise.
What have been some of your favourite compositions from them?
Too many to say.
Oh, that's a chicken out. What is it?
Or have there been compositions with them that you're like, no, I don't like this kupu?
Oh, all the time.
Do you do that? Or you're like, nah, how do you manage that?
Well, how I look at it is they can come up with a kaupapa, write the song, I'm like, most of the times it's the no, never make judgment on the kupu. If anything, it's like, let's go away from the sad songs.
Yeah.
We've got plenty.
We live there quite comfortably.
Quite comfortably, and it's just about remembering ora.
Yeah.
So it's like, come on, let's balance this up. And that was. If anything, that's where I come in.
Are you quite particular too with how you would arrange music with the kupu, or?
Yes, mine's more or
Yes,
less.
she's very particular.
Let's talk about it.
No, in a good way. No, in
Yeah.
a good way, my sis. I'm talking about if someone's singing too nasally and everybody else isn't, hubs can hear that, and then we know that. Well, you're doing a different mouth shape to everybody else, and so the vowel's coming out a different sound. And so what we want is to have a nice blend. We need that unity across all fronts. So even right down to how everybody is singing the vowels, and then also she can hear if the consonants are missing, of your H isn't hard enough, or or your T is too strong. Those types of things. And that's that quality control I was just talking about, and that's where Hubs shines. Because Hubs is not shy to tell you, Kare, you're flat.
Oh, we know.
I don't know if you know this, but she's quite a moaner.
You've taught me well.
But when it comes to changing that, we're all pedantic and we're all fastidious.
Yeah.
And so but we're humble enough to know sometimes, like how many items is on the shelf, like how many we've written an item, it doesn't quite take, put it on the shelf, grab it down later, or grab a section of it later.
Yeah.
And e tika ana hoki te kōrero about adding to the infinity pool. Like just like in moko, just like in kapahaka, you're always dipping into the infinity pool that others have contributed to. But you have to know, what quality of water are you putting back in the pool too. We also don't want to just sit here replicating everything forever.
Yeah.
CeeLo Green. CeeLo Green.
It's a crime against the canvas.
Yep. CeeLo Green said it's a crime against the canvas to paint the same picture again and again and again and again.
Yeah.
But the other thing too is, we don't want to paint a shit picture either.
No, we want to paint a picture that's the shit. And
a bit of it, the best.
Oh, that comes from.
We don't want to repaint somebody else's.
Yeah, that's the other thing is too. I don't want to go out there and pretend I'm painting a bloody Da Vinci.
Yeah.
And then you have a look and go, no, not even. That's that authenticity, that type of thing. It has to come from a place that's authentic. The other one is how you approach every item. Every item should have its own respect that it's to say, like it shouldn't be trying to, like if you're working on this particular haka, then dedicate yourself to this haka right here, right in the now. Don't try and be, and there's the other thing, if you can't finish it now, sometimes when you walk away from a project, it gets cold. And when you go to sit back at it, you're not there. And then sometimes you have to change what you're up to. Other times, when you walk away from the project, that's when it's getting written.
Yeah.
And as you're experiencing life and blah, blah, blah. And when you come back to it, now you're ready, and then the rest of that item gets finished off because it's had that time there to sit and ruminate. I suppose it's happening in the background, like in another tab, while you're going about.
Store that one, next one.
Yeah. So sometimes, so that sounds like it was a contradiction, but you have to feel that every item it mightn't be the same as the other one. This might be one of those ones that I just have to let sit for a while. And there's the other one of knowing that when this idea comes to me, and I thought it was a good idea, it might have run its course, because life's a river, and it's always moving, and so when you're stepping into that awa, sometimes that moment's already passed, and so you have to catch the next idea that's coming, or other times you have to...
Do you feel like that about haka and the haka styles and the development of haka style?
Well, like the bro said, there's always going to be fads. There's always going to be, and that's the way of the ever-changing world. If we don't have that, what the bloody hell are we up to?
Yeah.
But the beauty also about that is that the classics remain true. Hey, you know, so you hear, we'll take moko, for example. You know, you got some of yous born in the 80s, 70s.
Jeez, what are the 80s,
Hey,
70s?
in the
In
90s.
the 80s, bro. Don't look at me when you say 70s.
Some of you got a
He's like,
mana
"Hey,"
band.
I'm like, hey.
Some got a mana band in the 90s, and then that went out of fashion. Some got a tramp stamp in the early 2000s, and that went out of fashion. However, moko kanohi, moko kauau, puhoro, the classic moko remains forever.
Yeah.
Hey, you know, it's a classic. Those are the classic hits. It's always gonna be in. Hey, so that's what it's like with haka too. The fundamentals are always going to be important. Takahi, wuri, pukana. Hey. Pronunciation, I'm not too... I think that's a competition thing, really.
Stage thing, eh?
Yeah, it's a stage thing. And so if we're talking about composition for stage, or we're getting a group ready for stage, then you definitely want all of these things like pronunciation and all that. But when, you know, when it's the real deal, like at the ultimate upper echelon of haka, which is on your marae, hey, that has to all come from in here. However, the word slur or growl or however they come out, hey, if it comes from inside and here, that's better for me. But I also know, because we were raised in a iwi that's been fortunate enough to, I don't know, whai tūranga I roto i ngā mahi competition, then...
Yeah, it's made its way to
Yeah, so it's made its way, but we know the difference between what this performance is. We know, like for instance, for myself, the way I perform on stage, or when I'm getting ready to perform for stage, I'm spending the whole campaign trying to suppress meanness.
Yeah.
Box
Hey,
it in.
trying to box it in and trying to be as much as I can to try, but to still not lose that part that makes me me, but to know that I'm trying to do the part of me that can blend in with the rest of my iwi. But as soon as you take us off that stage where I'm not getting points taken off us,
You're free.
whatever goes.
I got to.
Yeah.
Because there's no I in team, but there's an I in teamer.
There's two eyes in iwi.
I want to talk about the poi out home. Obviously, everyone outside of Taurua think that we can all poi.
This is my turn to have a busy.
I'll have a sleep.
Yeah.
Is that true?
What's that?
Everyone outside of Taurua thinks that we can all poi.
Absolutely, everyone thinks that we can all poi here in Taurua. In particular, out Rangi Biwahi, everyone are poi exponents. That is not quite the case. Every campaign, let's just say, is all different. And naturally, you have different pois, different actions, and you're all starting from scratch from the beginning. Yeah. Practice makes perfect.
Yeah. How do you come up with your creations and your poi? Like, do you have a vision of how? So you receive the lyrics. Do you have a vision of how you want to see the end of a poi, or do you just develop the poi as you start from?
Yep, definitely develop it as we go on. So the lyrics are there, know what we're talking about, but I don't actually put myself in a room or somewhere so I can grasp inspiration. It's more about the feeling for me. So it's wherever the waiata in particular takes me. I don't always have a vision from the get-go. I may have a middle vision or an end vision first, and it just develops that way. So it's, for me, it's all based on the feeling of what we're actually talking about too, and how I'm feeling in that time.
Yeah. And how do you utilize, like, if you have a bit of a mind block or creative block, how do you get through it?
Me and Hubba go at the back of the wharekoe, and I have a vape and she's a smoker.
Oh, you wanted to see behind the scenes how it happens.
Do you have like, when you get through campaigns, and do you set out, okay, I've got a date or a calendar of like, we're going to start the poi here, we're going to finish it here.
Oh,
do you
never.
give yourself timelines?
We try.
Yeah. Well, not that we're, other than writing the poi and putting the music to the poi, not that we have much sway in the way that they go to the poi, but one thing I will say, adding to what I quoted about not everyone is proficient in the poi, even at home, it takes a lot of dedication and a lot of time. So whenever we're sitting at a bracket, usually the first item we try to get out of the way, usually people go choral. Ours is poi straight off the bat.
Yep.
Because we know that's going to take the most amount of time to whittle down and to refine. And so we do that early. But kia puno nei, the amount of dedication and time and sacrifice in order to get our poi the way it is. And the other thing too, I suppose, koutou ngai wiwa, one of the things that we try to hone, not only at home, but probably in Te Rawa, is that, you're supposed to make the poi, as difficult as it is, look effortless.
Yes.
And so a lot of people,
That is
sometimes,
the trick.
Yeah, sometimes people mistake it being effortless. Mama te mai. Yeah.
Mama.
Yeah. Sometimes people mistake that for easy.
Yes.
And it's not the same thing.
Yes.
When you I don't do the poi, but just from tāku kite nei, tāku mātiro nei, some of the poi, ka eke ki ngā taumata, you can't even compare ngā neke.
Yeah, because sometimes it's mistaken, because some judges' comments come across of kariau I rungu I te wihi, I te wana, but like the trick is to make it look effortless.
Hey, it's koe nei pe te tehe o ngā tino raru. And that's why I say, I te tangata e whakawāna me whakawāngia ko ngā tuapapa. Ka ue whakawāngia te tua iwi, because by all means, regional should have sorted that out. It's not our job.
Yes.
Regionals has done that.
Yeah.
And unless you've been in the trenches and unless you've trained that rigorously to do those momo neke, it's hard for you to comment on it, eh? But can you comment on te reka o te waiata? Yeah. We can all comment on that. We can all comment on te reka, ngā neke, te neke ngātahi, te neke tapatahi,
Okay, to what Hapa was saying, to say that it's done on a feeling, and I think that's the same for the composing side. Like, instead of trying to get too mental about it, how does it make you feel? How does it make you feel when you sing it? How does it make your audience feel? And then the same with the judging side of things is it's set up in such a subtractive way. You start off with 100 points and they're just looking for mistakes. And so if they're just looking for mistakes, they might be missing how it made them feel. Well, because they're too busy looking for mistakes, you're not actually taking in the item and whatever said item.
Because I feel like sometimes people don't understand how much it takes to teach people the technicality that comes into the poise that we create at our home.
There's the swinging of the poi, and then there's the body movements, and then everything else that needs to come into play with the poi. Yeah, people fall short of how hard that can be. And just, I guess you're branded because, you come into Te Arawa known for poi, and that should be the case because we are good at it.
How do you feel about, because what I see is that I see a lot of people, like some of the actions you would have created out home, and then they'll take them and then water it down or simplify, I should say.
How do I feel about
it? Or how do you feel about it? Yeah.
Well, that's a common thing these days with so much more access to, like social media. You're going to find that that's just going to happen. A lot different to back in the days. How do I feel about it? Oh, well, if you're going to take it, do a good job with it.
Yes.
I suppose that's our way of sharing.
Yeah.
You're welcome.
Contributing.
But don't be cut up if you fellas do a mean ass move and then I'll take it. No.
Oh, well, because for myself, when I create poi, I know that it doesn't take one person. So I will always draw upon a different team and then look at the next generation, because I want to ensure that I'm trying to create a succession plan. How do you do that within your areas of creations?
Well, it's pretty much like what you said. A poi can be quite hard, and you do have a lot of roadblocks, and it is, I mean, you can't help but call on others, because there are others that are skilled in particular items that can help support the bigger picture that you're trying to portray. So it's never a one-man job, absolutely not. And naturally in that, for the succession plan, you bring in young ones, even if it's just them sitting there watching, listening.
Sometimes it's easier for them to teach it too.
Well, I'm not at that point yet.
Need to release the reins to get to me.
But it is good for them to see how things go and what to look for, because what I've found is that a lot of people can't actually identify it, errors or what needs working on just by watching.
You have a real sharp eye for that.
Yeah, so it's like trying to build that up as well. It's easy to be flash, easy to grab someone else's action and try and make it your own and stuff like that. But I don't want that for our up and coming. It's more about, come on, you have the creativity in you. How do I draw that out of you? Because, I mean, like the ones that have been there before us, they've gone now. And then it's up to us. So it's about sharing that with our up-and-coming generation, particularly to not lose the skill that we have within our iwi. And
Yeah, and there's the other things is people look at sometimes tikanga and that being restrictive, that it restricts you, but sometimes these restrictions are there to protect you, and other times restrictions is what actually pushes your creativity, because not only do you now have to create an item, but you have to create an item that can swim within these flags of kawa and tikanga. So in our case, there are a few lines that are blurry that we can sort of go, but there's some few hard lines too that we don't cross. And so in creating these poi, it has to be creating the poi but still staying within, I don't want to see those armpits. I don't need to say there's all of these other things. And he goes, but that's restricting the movement. No, it's protecting us. There's a protection that comes with, because they're common sense, a lot of these hard rules. We won't go into what they are, but but just to know that sometimes there's some boundaries that are set in place. And young people, because I was the same when I was young. I used to be young. And sometimes you're like, let's just move the boundary a bit. But now that I'm not young, I see why these things are put in place, and it's to protect our people.
Sometimes it comes back to bite us too sometimes. Like ka kōrero mo ngā nukuhanga ke mo te haka. I'm not going to say which ones, but sometimes, we always do really, really well at the regionals. I te mea mohona tarawa ki ngā ture. Ki ngā ture haka, tērā iwi, me ngā rereketanga. Engari ka hare atu ana matau. Ki te matatini, they don't know our rules. And they say, geez, I would have liked to have seen this, and I would have liked to have seen that. We're not allowed to do that.
Why is it even allowed?
We're not allowed to do that. Me ngā momo o te nikehanga. And one of the silly things, I suppose, is now it's come down to really, really clever script writing. So now you got to do your script, and then you got to say in your script, e kore mātau e neke pēnei, e kore mātau e mahi tēnei, e kore mātau e mahi tēnei, and now ngā take, and so now you've got to put it. Engari ko te tehi mea noho ki, koutou ngā mea whakawā, pānui he ngā scripts.
Tēnā koe.
I'm quite this about reading every script. So me kaha te pānui ngā scripts.
And what about like the license, like poetic license, you know? You get so many people who are so like, no, kare tēnei kupu te tika. Like you're like, Do you know what
Well,
poetic
yeah,
license
when
is?
you have
We've made up
academic-
about 1 billion kupu that never existed before we made them up, and now other teams are doing the kupu now.
Yeah.
But sometimes the language that we're using is judged by someone who is an academic, but it's not necessarily academic language.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's judged by someone who's poetic, but for this one mightn't be a poetic. And so there's those things. But also, so for pui, a lot of times in our pui we use pui language, I suppose. Poro titi karawhiu, te pati pati, all of those types of things. And sometimes pui aren't actually written in the pui language, they're just a song that someone did pui to. But other times you might have some really, really poetic language, but I think that belongs in Waihatatangi and stuff like that. I think that's where that type of language should live. But there's the other things that euphonious use to the language too. What does it sound like? Sometimes you put a sound in there because that sound might be
Phonetically pleasing to me.
onomatopoeic, all of those types of reasons why we're using this word. Why did you, that's a o, not a a. Why did you say a? Because a is a more open sound and it carries better. So that's why I used a. You know, and that's why
Te motu tapu ātini rau.
it might be, and I might use it all when I'm saying it, but for this particular tune and for it to carry it needs a a sound.
Pēnā tātou ka jiro wake, for every ture reo, historically we've got something that breaks it. You know, it's just being clever in how you use it and explain why.
Yep.
You know, te raho te rangi pere, instead of ngā raho te rangi pere. Te motu tapu ātini rau, instead of te motu tapu o tini rau. We've got heaps of historical kupu that says that we can play around with it a little bit. As long as you say why. Even sometimes we might write a waiata, and then Haba might come to and say, it's a bit too, he nui rawa ngā kupu e kui tiana. And so we'll go, okay, we'll sit there and we'll start breaking down the line and say, we'll take this little syllable out, take this syllable out, take this, and we'll make it make sense. And then you've got to sit there and tuhi why it makes sense. And ko te mea pai, with our big catalogue, is that we've got examples of when it was done. So i pēnei mātau nā runga I te whakatakoto o tēnei rārangi tahito, tēnei waiata, and put that forward. And it's really good too. I really appreciate it. One good hint for everybody is never surround yourself with nothing but yes people. Because you're always going to be right.
It's going to tell you.
If you have nothing but yes, if you have nothing but yes people, then your idea is always going to go through. Good or bad.
And you don't want just straight no people. You always want to balance everything. You want balance.
You've got to be open to the no's too, as a creator.
I think not no people, but people with different takes on things is always good, because then you can have a healthy debate over why you think yours is better, and then be humble enough to say, tika anā koe.
Because in this space, you've got to have no feelings. You've got to be able to like, okay, for the betterment of the people, or
or for the betterment of the team.
That's one thing that makes it easy for me working with hubs and hohua is we're all right to not like the same ideas.
We're not too precious.
And don't have to war about it.
Growing up in Awahau, we were so lucky with our kaumata and kuia and how they inspired us. So, I really draw upon a lot of Nene Katoa's
Always.
waiata to inspire me to, I won't say I'm a composer, but a composer and creations and all that. And the same with kōrero and the whānau, nans and aunties. And how do you want to leave the same impression on our next generation?
It's there. They're already amongst it. They already are really proud of our young ones. That because it's hard. It's hard when there's all these other things you could be doing with your weekend. Especially these days. There wasn't as many things to do with your weekend when I was younger.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know, I take my hat off to the younger ones, but also, that's what our parents fought for. They're the lucky generation. So, our nannies and koro, they slept for kōrero Māori. The next generation, ngā tamatola I'm talking about, all of that generation, they did the hard yards. Some of them, ahakoa he reo Māori nāne, they didn't have it when they were younger, but they fought for it. And so by the time it comes to us, we were the lucky ones that sort of just, we were the ones that moaned, have to kōrero Māori. And then it comes out to our mokopuna now, and our kids now, it's just everywhere. Everywhere, like they don't know. Like we thought we were lucky, like our kids don't know that there was a struggle to have all of these things, and so that's just an everyday thing for them. So I reckon, in the same breath that I'm proud of them for the ones who do take on this mahi as something, a pastime, or even if it is a serious something that they're into. But at the same time, they should be, because it was given to them on the platter.
It's been beautiful sitting here with all of us. Like, I look around and I just see all our nannies and koros that we were brought up with and we sat in the whare with, and yeah, but it's just so heartwarming sitting here with us, and I appreciate you for coming in. Thank you for sharing. But I would like to finish off with a song together from home. What song can we sing?
Tiro, tiro.
Hei ha hei, tērā ia, mataki taki iho ki te puna o te taniwha. E koro pupu ake ana, au e koro pupu ake ana e. Te tīmatatanga o te aua I kauria e peke haua e piata mai ana. Kei ngā taha ko te koromiko, ko te whānake, ko te puna e tupu ana. He tira I raka, he tira I raka, he